So what we are going to look at today with all of our statements is using symbols to represent them. Go ahead and put the computers away, which is nice because instead of having to write out a whole sentence, you can use symbols, which is a whole lot shorter. It's kind of like coding it, okay? So I'm going to teach you the symbols, and then we'll practice coding and decoding them. So do you see the first one, if then? And that's what we've been talking about. If, like the one example on the warm-up you just did, if I study, then I will not fail. Remember that? Okay. So instead of writing out the whole sentence, what you can do is just put an arrow. And please listen to me on this. The arrow has to point to the right. Do you see that?
Yes.
It cannot point the other way. Please work with me on that because it'll get marked wrong. So it has to go to the right. It's like how you read. You read a page left to right. So that's the direction the arrow goes. Okay? Not. Now, when we negate things, you're going to put in a little tilde. It looks like that. It's called a tilde, but you can just call it a squiggle. That means not. So that's when you're negating something. So it's the opposite of what you had before. I don't know. Just go like this. All right. And is going to look like this. It looks like an A that you just didn't put the line across. So and looks like an A that you just didn't put the line across. A and. Are we good? And that one's kind of logical. It looks like an A. Right? So that's and. Or goes the other way. So or takes the and symbol and flips it upside down. That one's a little less, like that one doesn't make as much sense. But you just take the and one and flip it upside down. Is or. Okay, so they're just, if you remember, this one's and, or is the other one. Okay? Therefore is 3 little dots. It looks like, to me, it looks like the holes in a bowling ball. Do you know what I'm talking about? Now, it's a very picky thing, but do you see how the 1 dot is on the top and then the 2 are on the bottom? This, don't write this down. This is not a thing. Like, that's not it. The 1 dot, it's like a pyramid. Okay, the single dot is on the top and then the 2 are on the bottom. It just looks like the holes in a bowling ball or something. Okay. And then if and only if has the arrow going both ways. If and only if, because it's true both directions. So apples, if and only if bananas. Okay. Those are all our symbols. What we're going to do is take these sentences and kind of write them in code, which again, it's nice because it saves you some writing. You don't have to write as much because you don't have to write out all the words. So here are our 2 statements. We have P is a right angle, Q measures 90 degrees. So if you forget what's going on, just look back at that. So this says, if it is a right angle, then it measures 90 degrees. Which symbol up here is if then? Perfect. Arrow going right. Okay. So is it if P then Q, or is it if Q then P? Which order are we going in? P then Q. So here's what it's going to look like. P, arrow, Q. That's it. That's all you have to write. So it is less writing. The idea is we're abbreviating, sort of, so you don't have to do as much writing. So that's the answer. That's all you have to do. Let's try another one. If it is not a right angle, then it does not measure 90 degrees. So again, we have an if then. That's going to be the arrow. But what else do you notice is in this sentence? Not. So good, perfect. We have reading comprehension. All right, so we have not there and we have not there. So our first part, if it is not a right angle is P. So what we want to put is not P. So a little squiggly, it's called a tilde. Tilde P. And I'm going to put an arrow because it's if then. So now look at the part that comes after the then. It says does not measure 90 degrees. So what am I going to put for the part after the arrow? Yeah, tilde and then Q. Perfect. That's it. And you don't have to write anything else, which is nice. That's kind of the whole point of this is it's shorthand. It's so you don't have to write as much. I actually kind of like this because it's like code sort of. let's try another one. It is a right angle if and only if it measures 90 degrees. So what's our symbol for the if and only if? Yeah, both arrows. Okay, so it is a right angle is P, if and only if, and then Q. So it's P arrow Q, but the arrows are both ways because it's if and only if. Perfect, this is going well. See, as long as you listen to me, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. It's not that hard, okay? All right, it measures 90 degrees, therefore it is a right angle. So the therefore is those three little pyramid kind of dots. What is the first part? Measures 90 degrees. Was that P or Q? It's Q. So we're going to put Q and then our three little dots for therefore. And then it is a right angle is P. Cool. I was thinking I might need to like underline and color code this, but it seems like you're getting it without me needing to do that. So if I do have to, I can always go back and do that. All right, number 5. If it does not measure 90 degrees, then it is not a right angle. So we have an if and a then. That's the arrow pointing to the right. Okay. Now, do we have some knots in there? I think there were knots, aren't there? Oh, they both have it. Okay, not and not. So not 90 degrees. That would be tilde and then P or Q. Not 90 degrees. Q. Not Q. Arrow to the right. That's our if then. And then what comes after the then? The conclusion part. Yeah, tilde P. Perfect. It's got it. Oh. And then last one. It is a right angle and it measures 90 degrees. And looks like the letter A, but just without the line across. All right. So it is a right angle. That's P. And then you're going to put your and symbol. And then measures 90 degrees is Q. So it would look like that. Overall, that sounds like that went okay. Do you guys feel okay with it? Yeah. The symbols? This is kind of like your little cheat sheet for your code. Now, I have unfortunate news for you. You have to be able to do it back the other way. So I only put 3 of these. We are going to have to write the whole sentence for this. But I only gave you 3, okay? You're going to be okay. I'm going to write it too. I'm never going to ask you all to do something that I am not also doing. Okay, so I'm in it with you. So here are our new statements. P is an acute angle. Q measures less than 90. R is obtuse. What does obtuse mean? Let's just review that real quick. Over 90. Good job. But yes, under 1, it can't go over. You can't have like an angle of 190 or something. Okay, so what does this symbol mean? And. Good. It looks like an A that you just didn't put the line through. So we're going to say it is an acute angle. That's P. And I'm only making you write 3 sentences. You'll be all right. It is an acute angle. And. You found it? Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. So it is an acute angle. And. What is Q? It measures less than 90. It measures less than 90 degrees. Okay, so you survived writing a sentence. We're just going to do 2 more of that. You have to be able to do it both ways. Okay? So we took the sentences and we made them symbols. Now we're going to take the symbols and make them sentences. It wasn't that long of a sentence. It's all right. That's why I keep pep talking everybody. I'm like, you can do it. But I do keep getting told that I write too fast. That's why I'm pausing here. Is everybody okay? Yeah. Okay. So this one says Q, and then we have the 3 little dots. What were those? The little bowling ball dots. Therefore, all right, so let's write Q. It measures 90 or less than 90 degrees. So it measures less than 90. I'm going to just put the degree symbol instead of writing out the word degrees. I'm going to just put the little circle for the degree symbol. It measures less than 90 degrees. Therefore, oops. Oh, cool. You're saying the whole rest of the sentence. So I don't even write therefore. All right. Therefore, it says tilde P. So P says it is an acute angle. So we're going to say it is Perfect. Not an acute angle. It is not an acute angle. So Q, therefore, this is our word therefore, not P. This feels like this is going really well. Are you guys thinking this is okay? Not that hard, right? I kind of like this little. All right, and then the last one of these, you have the arrow going both ways. If you don't remember what that is, go ahead and flip back over, right? Yeah, if and only if. I only just explained it to you, so I don't expect you memorized it yet. So we're going to put P, so it is an acute angle. And then the arrow both ways. If and only if and only if Q, it measures less than 90 degrees. I guess we didn't even use R. It measures less than 90 degrees. Hey, see, you survived writing 3 sentences. Good job, guys. And again, I'm trying to wait. I get told I write too fast, so I'm pausing. The last one we're going to do at the bottom there is like a matching, which is what your exit ticket. Okay, thank you. I like the feedback because I'm like, I don't know how much time to give. Now, these are kind of hard to see. Oh, yeah, see, I know. See, that's what always happens to me. As soon as I try to go on, I'm like leaving somebody behind. Did yours print like mine did? Like there's a big blur through all the. Okay. We're gonna persevere and just do our best, okay? We're just gonna figure it out together. Okay, cool. We're gonna just figure it out. So look at your statements. For reading is important. Some people jump right into the problem without reading what's going on. You have to stop and read, okay? And we're almost done with the lesson part. I try to keep this part where I'm talking at you short, but I need you to give me a couple more minutes, okay? We're doing really good. All right, P. It says triangle ABC is a right triangle. Do you see that then? We're going to read so we know what's going on. Triangle RST is an obtuse triangle. Now we're going to select which one of these symbol things, and we're just going to write it because you obviously can't drag and drop on the paper, that matches these. So triangle ABC is a right triangle. That would be what? P or Q? All right, that's P. If and only if. What's that symbol? Both arrows. All right, so P and then both arrows, and then Q. So let's see, that would be this one right here. So we can mark that one off of our list. You kind of don't even really need the answer bank anyway. We're just going to write out the answers, right? So what is our symbol for therefore? This next one starts with a therefore. Yeah, the 3 dots. All right, so we're going to put our 3 dots. Therefore, triangle ABC is a right triangle, so that is P. Now this says or. Can you guys just give me a couple more minutes of your time, okay? Or, good. If you remember, this is and, or is just the other way around. That one kind of isn't intuitive, though, so that one's kind of hard to remember. All right, or Q. So let's see if we can find that on there. Little dots, P, and then or Q. All right, the last one, cool. But again, we kind of don't really need the answer bank. So it's sort of just there as extra. All right, 2 more. Triangle RST is obtuse. So if, sorry, the if is important. I should have read that part. If triangle RST is obtuse, then triangle ABC is right. If then was what symbol? Yeah, the arrow pointing right. Just one arrow. All right. So it's going to be, what is RST? That was Q, right? All right, Q arrow P. So that is the second one. All right, and then the last thing. ABC, triangle, ABC is a right triangle, and RST is obtuse. So that's going to be P, and then what's our symbol for, yeah, like, it looks like an A. Don't cross it, though. It's not an A, all right? And then Q.